He's the friendly neighborhood hero we all know, but across the Spider-Verse, Spider-Man has taken on countless identities, powers, and stories. From Peter Parker to Gwen Stacy, from the spectacular to the strange, this video covers every version of Spider-Man that's ever swung across the multiverse. Get ready to enter the web like never before. On Earth 63, all mutants are of African descent, though their reality's history still closely mirrors the history of Earth 616. At some point in time, Professor X and Magneto established the mutant nation of KCOA. Despite not being a mutant, Mr. Parker joined the cause of Professor X and Magneto on KCOA. The story of Spidergirl. Penelope Parker lived with Uncle Ben and Aunt May. During a school trip to Osborn Labs, she was bitten by a radioactive spider, gaining strange powers that caused her to shoot webs uncontrollably. After disguising the mess from Mary Jane, Penelope saw Flash Thompson in danger of falling from an exhibit. She quickly made a makeshift suit from her backpack, saved him, and returned to acting normal. Later, Aunt May advised her to use her powers to help others but keep them secret for now. Encouraged by May's unconditional love, Penelope built her own suit and began testing her abilities as Spider-Girl. The story of Spider-Man from Earth 460. Earth 460 is an alternate future of Earth 616. In this future, the Purple Man became president for life and imprisoned, killed or banished all of the superheroes, including Spider-Man and Daredevil. By banishing Captain America to the year Earth 616 1599, Earth 311 was accidentally created. The story of Zombie Spider-Man. Little is detailed about Spider-Man's life before the zombie plague arrived on Earth 2149, however it can be presumed that it followed as much of the same path as his Earth 616 counterpart. Spider-Man was infected relatively early in the zombie outbreak, after he was bitten by a newly zombified Colonel America. Peter arrived home trying to get Aunt May and Mary Jane out of the city, only to succumb to the hunger and eat them both. The story of Cyborg Spider-Man. Before Karn came to this Earth, Superior Spider-Man of Earth 616 warned Spider-Cyborg about Karn. Later, Karn really came and fought Spider-Cyborg. But then Superior Spider-Man appeared and he defeated the villain. Then he joined the Superior Spider-Man's team to defeat Karn once and for all. The story of Spider-Man from Earth Technarch. Spider-Man is one of the superpowered beings converted into a Viloc Prime by the mutated Legacy virus. Earth 8545 is a world where the Legacy virus was ravaging the mutant population. Desperate to save his friend Douglas Ramsey, who had become infected, the Technarch Warlock merged him in an attempt to save him. Instead, the virus mutated with the Technarch body and began consuming all living beings on the planet, including non-mutants. The infected became known as Vilocs. The story of Spider-Man from Earth 10919. This Spider-Man was killed by Karn during the Civil War. His corpse was found by the reality-displaced Superior Spider-Man of Earth 616. The story of Ghost Spider. In this reality, Peter Parker's Uncle Ben never died, and helped Peter to train as a hero with his new spider powers, becoming the Amazing Spider, a famous and popular superhero who also became a rich and successful scientist, having his own company called Parker Technologies. After meeting the Spider-Man of Earth 616 and making him believe he arrived to this universe by accident, the Amazing Spider revealed that he and Ben brought different Peter Parkers from other realities in order to grow in power to defend his universe. When Spider-Man questioned him, both started fighting, and finally the Spider was convinced that what he did was not heroic. When Ben was about to plug a distracted Spider-Man into the machine, the Spider stood in the middle and had his powers absorbed by the machine, apparently killing him. Dr. Banner, the Sorcerer Supreme, died fighting his evil alter ego, the Infernal Hulk, but he stayed alive in his astral form and freed Parker, infusing him with the spirits and powers of the repentant damned, giving him a second chance to live. He woke up from the coma and discovered he became the Ghost Spider. The story of Eric Neato Jr. The Mexican boy who would become Eric Neato was the son of a luchador of the same name. One day, his father was crippled by an opponent, with fellow luchador Scorpion ignoring Eric Neato's cries for help. Before heading to the hospital where his father succumbed to his injuries, the boy spotted a Scorpion colluding with a crime boss. 2 years later, the boy had taken up his father's mantle, using the name of Eric Neato in combination with his spider-like powers to protect Mexico City as a vigilante. One of his adventures consisted of tracking down the same mob boss who had colluded with a scorpion in order to rescue the daughter of an actor that he had kidnapped. The story of Spider-Man with lifespan extended. Peter Parker had his lifespan extended after a blood transfusion from Deadpool. He eventually became wheelchair-bound and ended up in a retirement home. When their world was about to be overrun by life model decoys, Spider-Man and Deadpool traveled back into the past of Earth 616 to prevent that. The story of Spider-Man from Deviant World. 150 years after the Deviants conquered the Earth in the late 1800s, Spider-Man was a mind-controlled human slave who was mutated and owned by Crow. Crow sent him to assassinate Gower. He was able to break into Gower's compound, but his success in this mission is uncertain due to the arrival of the Silver Surfer. The story of Spider-Man from House of M. In this world, Peter Parker never suffered the tragedy of Uncle Ben's death. His powers are public knowledge, and he is loved by society. He is a celebrated superhero and also a celebrity, living a life of luxury as a professional wrestler and actor, married to Gwen Stacy, with whom he has a son, and surrounded by friends and family who, in the normal reality, had either died or grown distant. When the truth about how Peter gained his powers was revealed, his entire life imploded. He came under public fire for misrepresenting himself as a mutant for years. A movie he starred in about his life was pulled from theaters. Stock in his business began to tank. His family members were forced to seclude themselves in their estate, and Peter himself tried to hide for a time. Peter Parker's life was initially similar to that of his Earth 616 counterpart, until he decided to kill the burglar who had killed his uncle rather than leave him for the police. From there, Peter decided as Spider-Man to fight crime by any means necessary, even keeping the gun that had killed his uncle as a weapon to use himself and as a reminder of what crime had taken from him. Though he tried to avoid using the gun or kill his enemies, when it became clear that some enemies would keep coming back over and over, he resolved to kill these particular foes. In particular, when the Sinister Six kidnapped his aunt and Betty Brant, Spider-Man felt he had no choice but to kill them all, and did so using weapons specifically designed to eliminate all of them. The story of Spider-Man from Earth 71953. As an adult, Peter used his skills as Spider-Man combined with his job as a reporter to go after villains such as the Kingpin and the Punisher in ways that both other reporters and other superheroes couldn't. This is an alternate future of Earth 1610. The story of Spider-Spy. Pierce Parker was a private detective who was bitten by a laboratory spider during one of his investigations and gained spider-like superhuman powers. By day, Pierce continued his normal detective work by day, but by night, he worked with his partner Marilyn and used his powers and gadgets.